Hello, welcome to new What If Naruto was the Shadow Monarch form solo leveling part 1. It was the early morning of October 19th. It was the day the Hokage, the Yellow Flash, and his wife, the Red Death, were giving birth to their firstborn child. The village was still on guard because there was a war going in the 5 elemental nations. A few people knew about his birth, because if a Jinchuriki gave birth, her seal will grow weak. After his birth, we see a baby boy in the hand of a lady with red hair. Who was his mother? The baby has blonde yellow hair and blue eyes, and fair skin. His name is Naruto Uzumaki. We also see a tall man with the same blonde yellow hair and blue eyes. He was like the baby all grown up. 5 years after Naruto birth. In the past 5 years, Naruto pass academic at 4 years old. Naruto was a prodigy like none other. But his parents never knew about it because the Third Ninja War ended and also his mother was pregnant with triplets. His father was in kind of a depressed state because 2 of his students died. But when he found out he was getting kids, he kind of got out of his state. Also, a few of the people in the village know about Naruto because his parents made a lot enemy. No, to the present, we see a lady giving birth to 3 children. After a while of pushing, the 3 babies came out, the oldest being Menma. He had red hair and green eyes and 2 whisker marks on each cheek. He was 3 minutes earlier than the others. Next was Naruto. She was the middle child. She has blue eyes and red hair, and fair skin. She came out early than Mito. She didn't have any whisker marks. The final child was Mito. She had blonde hair like her father and blue eyes and 3 whisker marks on each cheek. She was the last of the children. After giving birth, Minato, the 4th Hokage, was going to seal the 9 tails away. Suddenly a masked man came out of a vortex. He took the 3 children and threatened them with a kunai. But Minato saves them and teleport to a safe house and place the 3 children there. Meanwhile, the masked man took Kushina to a different dimension and extract the 9 tails. After extracting the 9 tails, the masked man summoned the 9 tails in the village. Cause the 9 tails was put under a genjutsu. The 9 tails was creating destruction in the village. I was putting the triplets on the bed until I heard a roar. I then teleported to the place where Kushina was. When I got there, I saw Kushina in the brink of death. I picked her up and teleported to the triplets. I place her near the triplet and grab the cage robe and wore it. Then teleport to the Hokage monument. I saw a quarter of the village destroyed and I was about to teleport the beast to a secluded area. The keyword about to. That when a masked man tried to grab me, but I managed to dodge. Then I saw him came out of a vortex. When I saw his attire, I said, "Who are you?" He said he was the ghost Uchiha. Then we started fighting. I was trying to hit him but the punches went through him. I came up with a plane. So I threw my 3-prong kunai, as I expected it went right through him. Then I teleported to the kunai. And smash a raise nan to him back and also marked him with the Hirishin mark. It removed the genjutsu on the beast. Then I saw him charging a tailed beast bomb toward the village. But I managed to teleport it away. Then I also managed to teleport me and the 9 tails to a place far away from the village. Then I teleported Kushina and the triplets there as well. Kushina told me that she was going to hold down the beast. Then I was about to do the Death Reaper seal and seal the beast into the triplets. When I heard the voice of Hiruzen. He said to stop and that he lived longer and I have a family to protect. So let him do the seal. But I protested and was about to do the seal anyway, but I was knocked out. The last thing I remember was Hiruzen doing some hand signs. When I followed Minato's chakra, I saw him do the Death Reaper seal. I didn't want Minato, a young man who has a future, to do the seal, so talked to him about it, but he didn't stop, so I knocked him out. Then I did the same hand signs he did. Then I put 33% of the chakra and soul into them and the last 1% of the Kyuubi's chakra into Kushina so that she can survive. I would have put the whole 9 tails into Kushina if it wasn't for her weakened state. When I finished the seal, I died knowing that the village would be in good hands. The last of my thoughts were, is Naruto their firstborn? After that, Anbus arrived and brought them to the hospital. One day after the whole ordeal, the thing in the village calms down. The Hokage announced his triplets as the village heroes and held a funeral for the third Hokage. After the Kyuubi attack, we see the Minato and Kushina were trying to keep the triplets from crying, and Naruto sitting next to them. He was trying to make the adorable twins from crying. Minato was trying to keep the stress from getting to him. The blonde man was very tired because he and other ninjas/shinobi was trying to rebuild the village. The redhead women were very exhausted, even though she was an Uzumaki, who is known to have a very strong life force. Even an Uzumaki is a human. She was tired because the 9 tails were ripped out of her. 2 years time skip. In the past too, Naruto was ignored. He was a very understandable person and very mature for his age. Anyway, he is sure that it was because of what happened in the last 2 years. He already became a Chunin. Chunin is the third rank of shinobi. The ranks are as follows: academic student, Genin, Chunin, Jonin/Anbu, Sunin, and Kage. Today was Naruto's birthday. He was feeling depressed because his parents forget his birthday. He was also thinking of his siblings' birthday. He never got a birthday like this. Flashback. Today was October 10th, today was the triplets' birthday. The birthday was held in the Namikaze compound. All the clan heads and clan heir were present at the party. The birthday went smoothly. All grown ups were talking and the kids were playing. That what Naruto remembered. Naruto was on a mission when he came back. This is what he remembered. Flashback end. After 3 years, he was still a Chunin. He went on a false mission, but he didn't know that hell, not even the Hokage knew about it. The mission was originally supposed to be a B-rank mission, his first B-rank mission. He was supposed to investigate a high chakra area. He was 4 feet and 1 inch tall, blonde yellow hair, and blue eyes. The blonde boy was muscular and he got rid of baby fat as well. He wears traditional Chunin clothes. I got a mission from the Hokage. I got out of the village. My destination was near the Wind Country border. After 3 days of traveling, I reached my destination. I saw a lot of white creatures. I also saw a large vortex in the sky. Since my mission was to observe and investigate the high chakra area, I grabbed a small scroll and I was about to write and deliver this to the Hokage. Until a small earthquake happened. I was sitting in a tree and using chakra to do so. Due to the small earthquake, I excitedly lost my balance and was about to drop on the ground. Then I had no choice but to realize my chakra. I was suppressing my chakra because I know I can't take on the whole army of whatever those things are. So this made every single of those white creatures attack me. I had no choice but to run into the big vortex, and hope for the best. I went into the vortex. When I got there I saw a lot of beasts that I will only consider as monsters. Also writing in a language I am not familiar with. Naruto was very tired, so he went to hide, but the monster's senses were better than his hiding skill. The blonde was scared. That's when a big white-furred 2-headed wolf charged at the young Chunin. He had no jutsu or technique to save himself from the ruthless mindless monster. The blonde had no choice but to run. After an hour of running from the mindless wolf, the monster would not let its prey let go. Naruto had no strength to run. He had run through the blood-red halls of the dungeon. He just collapsed on the ground. He had no energy to run. The blood-red eyes of the wolf piercing Naruto's soul. The blonde Chunin wanted to survive. He wanted power so he can survive. Before he could think further, a claw came towards him trying to rip him to pieces. The blonde managed to survive, but it cost him an arm. Ah, it hurts. I just lost my left arm. All I wanted now is to survive. I see my life flash before my eyes. I can see everything in slow motion. I see the blood-red eyes of my predator and his snow-white claw about to finish my life. Suddenly a blue box which has writing on it. I looked around and saw that the time has stopped. As my vision got clear I see, you have completed all the necessary requirements of the secret quest Courage of the Weak. After I read that I see another blue box. If you do not accept, your heart will stop approximately 0.02 seconds later. Will you accept? I think of refusing, but then I think about how I am going to die anyway, so I decided to accept. The last thing I remember before dying was how the screen changed and now it read: "You have now become a player." After Naruto was knocked out from the strain in his body, he woke up outside the dungeon. He looked around, there was no one around. He tries to get up expecting pain. But he never felt that emotion but felt confusion instead. He was sure that the whole experience was real. He then noticed the same blue box he saw before his death. He sees it. What? Don't tell me I have to do this now. No way that I am doing this, I am already tired as it is. I am sure nothing bad would happen, anyway I have to report this to the Hokage, aka my father. 23 hours and 49 minutes time skip. I was jumping from trees to trees trying to get to the village hidden in the leaf, Konohagakura or the leaf village, until I was transported to a sand place. The box thing, now known as the system, appeared in front of me. It read: "You failed to do the daily quest, so now you are in the penalty zone, now you survive." Then a large snack attacked me. I was going to use a jutsu but I realized that I can't use chakra. So in the next 4 hours, I had to run. I wasn't that tired but I am pretty sure I don't want to do that again. It was the scary thing I felt, it reminded him of the one tail, Shikaku. Then I returned back to the tree I was on using chakra. Then I returned to the leaf village and gave the report to the Hokage. I left some things out, okay, hand sign. Even though I am 8, I am very good at deception. In the next years too, I did all the daily quests perfectly. I also became an Anbu and made a name for myself, also got myself a girlfriend, her name was Ayam. She was a civilian and was the same age as me. Now I am 10 years old. I received a quest from the system about a job quest. So I went to the designated spot and opened the dungeon with the key I got from a lucky chest. I went into the dungeon, I took out the knights easily, it is expected, its name is written in white. After defeating all the knights I reached the crown room. There I saw an empty throne and a knight wearing red armor and he wields a dark red sword. His name is the Red Knight and his name is written in red. It means he is powerful. I had a sword fight with him but I soon realized he was much stronger than me. He was even able to break my sword. I soon realized he was an honorable knight. He stuck the sword in the ground. We then had a fist fight. He was better than me in every single category. We have been fighting for a while and I noticed that he was not better than me in every category, I was actually smarter than him, thanks to the system, so I took my broken sword to his eyes and blinded him. Then I put him into a chokehold and killing him the progress. After that, I battle against more knights and noticed that they summoned from the mages. I then summoned my chakra into the form of a dragon. It wiped out 1/3 of the mages. The attack I hoped to decimate all the mages and it also drained my chakra. Then I was transported to the penalty zone. Then it hit him. I forgot to do my daily mission. Luckily this was a good thing. The stat regeneration potion that I was restricted to drink, was not restricted anymore. I then drank it. After 4 hours I returned back. Then I used my physical strength and taijutsu to wipe them out. Then a white and blue box appeared, it showed my class. I was very bummed when my class was necromancy. I was about to complain to no one in particular but then it upgraded to Shadow Lord. After reading my class description I was very pleased with my class. Shadow Lord is basically when you kill someone you can extract their shadow and they can fight for you. When your shadows fight for you get their experience and states. Then I use my ability to summon everyone I killed including the Red Knight. But it took 2 tries to summon him and I had to give him a name because he was a captain knight. I also had to name him because he had a higher class than the others. I gave him the name Egress. Then I returned back to Konoha. 7 years later. In the past 7 years, I have become an SSS rank ninja. Technically an Anbu. I also got a dragon as my summoning. I am also married to Ayam. I have also become a father to 2 children. Their names are Boruto and Saruto. They are both males. My Enbu name is Shadow. I have gotten Shadow Monarch as my nickname. At the Namikaze Uzumaki estate, Menma was helping his mother with some old stuff. Until he saw a photo of his father and a 3-year-old kid. Menma was curious about how this kid is. So he decided to ask his mother. Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze was doing the dishes until her son Menma Uzumaki Namikaze came to her. He was holding a picture frame with him. He asked her a question. Menma, Mom, how is this in the picture? Kushina looked at the photo. She looked closer. She took the photo because no memory of the kid in the picture came to her mind. So she looked at her son and said, I don't know, maybe your father knows something. Later at dinner, everyone was eating dinner until Menma asked Minato the same question and also show him the photo. Minato instantly recognizes the person. He told everyone that the person in the photo is. I asked father about the person in the picture. Father says his name is Naruto. Who the hell is Naruto? I shouted. Father looks down. He kind of looks sad. Is that someone you know? I don't like people ignoring me. We were eating dinner. I always had a feeling that I am missing something or someone. I put that in the back of my mind. When I was about to stand up, Menma showed me a picture frame. It shows a picture of me with my Hokage attire and a boy who looks like a miniature me. I instantly knew who this person was. It was my firstborn. Naruto. I mumbled Naruto. I was sad because it has been 12 years since I talked to him. Then who the hell is Naruto? Menma shouted. I was hesitant on telling them who Naruto is, but I knew that they deserved to know. So I started telling them that Naruto is their big brother. The room went quiet. Surprisingly, it was Kushina who started explaining. She told them that Naruto was born 5 years earlier than the triplets. She told them how she forgets about their older brother. I want to see him, shouted Mito. I know I failed as a parent. So I called Anbu and told him to bring me Naruto now. I said softly yet sternly. The Anbu shunned Shin away. The Anbu arrived with a handsome man with blonde hair and blue eyes. He was 6.5 feet or 6 feet 5 inches. He was wearing a tank top and it showed his big muscles. He has a lean build. He had an intimidating aura around him. Naruto, I shouted. He looked at me with a glare and a soft smile. I was with Ayam and the kids until an Anbu arrived at my mansion and told me that the Hokage wanted to see me. I was the 3rd richest person in the fire country. Anyway, money didn't matter to shinobi since when their cage summoned them they should not question it and go there anyway. The Anbu grabbed my shoulder and we body flickered to the Namikaze Uzumaki compound. When we arrived I heard a shout from my father. If I heard it correctly he said Naruto. Then I gave him a smile. Yes, Hokage-sama, I said in a respectful manner. I am an understanding boy. No, I am a man, not that ignorant kid I used to be. After Minato's shout, there was a disturbing silence. So a certain tall blonde decided to break the silence. Yes, Hokage-same, you summoned me. Naruto said emotionlessly. Minato had a neutral face, but inside he was panicking. The thoughts were any father's thoughts when they have neglected their son and that son doesn't even call you father. Minato snapped out of his thoughts when his son spoke. Sorry Hokage-sama, I have to be somewhere. Today is my kid's birthday. Nanny. I am a grandpa. I shouted. What, I am an uncle? Menma shouted. What, I am an aunt? Mito and Naruto shouted. Nanny. I am a grandma. Kushina shouted. I asked father about the person in the picture. Father says his name is Naruto. Who the hell is Naruto? I shouted. Father looks down. He kind of looks sad. Is that someone you know? I don't like people ignoring me. We were eating dinner. I always had a feeling that I am missing something or someone. I put that in the back of my mind. When I was about to stand up, Menma showed me a picture frame. It shows a picture of me with my Hokage attire and a boy who looks like a miniature me. I instantly knew who this person was. It was my firstborn. Naruto. I mumbled Naruto. I was sad because it has been 12 years since I talked to him. Then who the hell is Naruto? Menma shouted. I was hesitant on telling them who Naruto is, but I knew that they deserved to know. So I started telling them that Naruto is their big brother. The room went quiet. Nani Naruto shouted. Surprisingly, it was Kushina who started explaining. She told them that Naruto was born 5 years earlier than the triplets. She told them how she forgets about their older brother. I want to see him, shouted Mito. I know I failed as a parent. So I called Anbu and told him to bring me Naruto now. I said softly yet sternly. The Anbu shunned Shin away. The Anbu arrived with a handsome man with blonde hair and blue eyes. He was 6.5 feet or 6 feet 5 inches. He was wearing a tank top and it showed his big muscles. He has a lean build. He had an intimidating aura around him. Naruto, I shouted. He looked at me with a glare and a soft smile. I was with Ayam and the kids until an Anbu arrived at my mansion and told me that the Hokage wanted to see me. I was the third richest person in the fire country. Anyway, money didn't matter to shinobi since when their cage summoned them they should not question it and go there anyway. The Anbu grabbed my shoulder and we body flickered to the Namikaze Uzumaki compound. When we arrived I heard a shout from my father. If I heard it correctly he said Naruto. Then I gave him a smile. Yes, Hokage-sama, I said in a respectful manner. I am an understanding boy. No, I am a man, not that ignorant kid I used to be. After Minato's shout, there was a disturbing silence. So a certain tall blonde decided to break the silence. Yes, Hokage-sama, you summoned me. Naruto said emotionlessly. Minato had a neutral face, but inside he was panicking. The thoughts were any father's thoughts when they have neglected their son and that son doesn't even call you father. Minato snapped out of his thoughts when his son spoke. Sorry Hokage-sama, I have to be somewhere, today is my kid's birthday. Nani? I am a grandpa. I shouted. What, I am an uncle? Menma shouted. What, I am an aunt? Mito and Naruto shouted. Nani? I am a grandma. Kushina shouted. The sword was in the wood box. After the announcement, Kushina used the same jutsu to tell them it is time for the triplets to open the gifts. Menma and Naruto were opening the gifts. They got some gifts and the most important gift they got was the toad summoning and the slug summoning. Toad summoning for Menma and Naruto for slug summoning respectively. Mito never got a summoning contract. Then Minato looks through the gifts and he found a wooden box. It says for Mito, and it also says only for Mito's eyes. Minato raised an eyebrow. He gave Mito the box anyway. This got everyone's attention. Mito opens the box to find a note. It says, "Hello, it's from your big brother. And this is only for your eyes only, after reading it burn it." Mito hides the note in her pocket. She found a sword. The blonde-haired girl picked up the sword. When the sword was picked it glowed black. It got Minato's attention. The blonde Hokage will try to pick up the sword himself. Keyword being try. This would get others' attention as well. Flashback end. So you are the one that put that letter in that black sword that I got on my birthday, said Mito in a goofy voice. Naruto stood there in a calm demeanor and in a straight face and Naruto said, "Yeah, that's correct, I felt bad for you, Mito-chan." Mito blushed. "What is so special about that sword?" said Naruto. The sword is made out of chakra metal and every time you kill a strong opponent the sword gets sharper," said Naruto. "The Uzumaki secret family sword or Himitsu no Ken sword can do the same thing," said Kushina. "Well, this sword has the ability to control shadow and the user's element to an extent," said Naruto. "What else can the sword do?" asked Minato. Minato was interested in the sword. After all, he the Hokage could not lift the sword. Naruto smirked. It only responds to its master and anyone else can't lift the sword. See ya around. I really have to go since this my kid's birthday, said Naruto. As he then shunshin away. Sorry Mito, I can't tell you the full extent of the sword. Naruto thought. I am going to shadow exchange to switch with Ayam's shadow. Yeah, that's right, I put Sharon to protect her. I remember the day I battled Sharon. So we have a flashback. After 2 weeks after the job quest dungeon. After doing the daily quest. He gets an S-class key. Oki Naruto. After getting the key he read the description. It read, this key will teleport to a demon dungeon and it will get you a special item. Maybe this might get me strong enough to be S-class ninja/shinobi. According to the key description you have to go to the blood bank basement to enter the dungeon. I entered the blood bank and spread my shadows to look for the basement. It's not like I am going to ask a random employee, hey excuse me, I need to know where your basement is, Naruto thought. Anyway, it looks like one of my shadows found the basement. I used shadow exchange with that shadow. The term shadow exchange refers to the ability to swap places with a specific shadow. I went down to the basement and took the key point to the dungeon. After a second or two I was swirled to a different dimension. The dungeon was bloodstained, and the fire was strewn about. The sight I saw made my blood run cold. The heads of creatures were strewn about. A throne was also present, which appeared to be made of bone and gold dust. Someone was sitting on the throne. He was covered in blood from the waist down. He was dressed in a gleaming gold kimono fit for a king. He has long white hair and bright yellows on his face. The scar on the right side of his face was covered by fire. The said man's face has fair skin, while the rest of his body has blue skin. He carries a large bow staff on his back, similar to the power pole in Dragon Ball, but this one is gold. Who dares to enter King Moro's chamber? Said the man, Moro meaning chamber in Japanese. My name is Uzumaki Naruto, and what is yours? I inquired. The man sighed, it's nice to see you have manners. You haven't answered my question, said Naruto in an annoyed tone. You sound annoyed, I want to know why, said the man. Hey you, I told you to tell me your name, if you don't I will come at you, said Naruto as a bunch of shadows appeared behind Naruto. I'm not respectable as I thought, and if you want to know my name that badly defeat me first, said the man. Okay, don't tell me that I didn't warn you, said Naruto as he rushes toward the man. Naruto attempted to punch the man who was still standing. But, to his surprise, the man grabbed his hand with his own. After seeing this he jumped back, creating a crater on the place where he landed. Hey, you think a weak strike can harm me? Said the man, doing the strange poses that the legendary Sananjurya aka his godfather does. Wow, this guy is arrogant, maybe I can take advantage of that, even though that is not my strongest attack. He caught my fist like that, Naruto thought. The man then grabbed his back's bow staff and spun it around for a while. Come at me, weakling, said the man. With pleasure, said Naruto, who then disappeared in shadows and a sword appeared on his hand, no doubt a system ability. Naruto struck with a dagger, not just any dagger, this dagger was crafted from the finest metal in the world, only to be blocked with a staff. Naruto was certain that a simple bow staff could not withstand such a blow. How was this possible? The only other metal stronger than this dagger is the same metal from the Cage no Yama, also known as the Mount Shadow. It just so happens that this is the same metal that was produced from the Cage no Yama. This battle was sure to take a long time. After the first clash, Naruto knew that this man is more physically strong than himself in the first confrontation. Naruto. He learned not to play by your opponent's game while he was a genin, so he decided to change things up. He jumped up in the air and said fire style. Fireball jutsu. /Katongu Kakyu no Jutsu. Then a massive fireball was sent towards the man. By spinning the bow staff, the man made cartwheel, which ultimately dispersed the incoming fireball. Hey, it seems this guy is very good at using that staff, but I am pretty sure I am better at swordsmanship, thought Naruto. Naruto then did multiple strikes at the man. To Naruto's surprise, the man dodged by doing a cartwheel. Naruto then summoned a bow on his left hand. He then throws the sword up and caught it with his teeth. Naruto then summoned an arrow in his right hand and charged the arrow at him with the bow and arrow. The arrow soar makes a strange sound as it throws air. It was almost as if it had hit the man. It turned out that the man was nothing but a clone. Then man cartwheeled towards Naruto, kicked him using a flying kick. The man caught his feet with a simple hand grab. Naruto figures out that this man was holding back, so he did something surprising. He body flickered behind him and hold him a choke hold. This took him by surprise. So Naruto managed to suffocate him. Don't get me wrong, I can't kill this man if it wasn't for his arrogance, Naruto thought. The man tried to tell Naruto his name but couldn't because of death. Naruto saw the man's dead corpses. He then said, "Arise," with turned the man into a shadow. You have to name the general shadow system. Naruto then thought about it and decided to name the shadow Sharon, because he uses cartwheels a lot. To his surprise, the shadow spoke, "My king, I am your shadow to serve." Flashback end. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more.